UFC 297 Strickland vs. Du Plessis takes place this Saturday, January the 20th in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the MMA Casuals Guide. Stay right here. The main event of the evening is for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World, where newly crowned champion Sean Strickland looks to defend his world championship for the very first time against South African contender Dricus Du Plessis. Let's start as we always do with the red corner, the always controversial Sean Tarzan Strickland. The American Sean Strickland is an absolute madman. He's loud, he's outspoken, he talks a lot of trash, but the man backs it up. In his last fight, Strickland was inserted into a UFC title fight against many people's middleweight GOAT, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. The fight was originally supposed to be Izzy versus Dricus, but Dricus pulled out due to an injury, which led to Sean getting the title shot. In Australia, in enemy territory, Sean Strickland was able to shock the MMA world by putting on a striking clinic and dominating Adesanya to become the UFC's world champion. Sean's fight style is very unique. He uses the Philly shell and constantly moves forward. Sean looks to defend his world title for the first time, but in order to do that, he has to go through his opponent this weekend in South Africa's Dricus Du Plessis. Dricus Du Plessis is on an absolute tear right now, an 8-fight win streak, including an undefeated UFC record of 6-0. Stylistically, Du Plessis is an anomaly. Many fight experts say that upon watching film, Du Plessis is not very technical or not very skilled, but the South African always finds a way to win. He is a very aggressive fighter, always moving forward and always throwing huge power shots. He is a fight finisher. 5 of his 6 UFC fights have ended via finish. Guys, these two have bad blood, and this is 100% a grudge match. After exchanging words at the seasonal press conference in December, these two were seated close to each other at UFC 296. It was a ticking time bomb. The pair eventually got into a fight in the crowd. Guys, this is gonna be fireworks and a scrap that no MMA fan is gonna wanna miss. The co-main event sees 2 ladies battling for the vacant bantamweight title, which was left behind after the GOAT, Amanda Nunes, retired. American veteran Raquel Pennington takes on the Brazilian finisher Mayra Bueno Silva. Raquel Pennington is a well-rounded vet who's been in the UFC since the beginning of women being in the league. She has fought the who's who of women's MMA. She's fought names like Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm, Jessica Andrade, Germaine de Randamine. The list goes on and on. Rocky doesn't really have one particular style she excels at. She is a jack of all trades fighter. She failed in her previous title opportunity, but since she has built herself back up with a 5-fight win streak. She is ready and prepared for a huge challenge this weekend, and she's ready to become a world champion. But in order to do that, she has to go through her opponent this weekend, a Brazilian killer named Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra Bueno Silva, better known as Chitara, is a finisher of the highest order. She has supreme submission skills. In her last fight, Mayra won via submission against MMA legend Holly Holm, but that fight would eventually get overturned when Mayra tested positive for ADHD medication. While not necessarily a performance enhancer, the drug was banned by USADA, and Mayra did her time, serving a 5-month suspension. With top contender Juliana Pena injured and essentially promised the winner of this fight, these 2 ladies are fighting for a world title, and I cannot wait for this one. Other fights and fighters you should know about on this card. Longtime UFC veteran, record holder for the most fights in the history of the UFC's welterweight division, the Haitian sensation Neil Magny is fighting for the 32nd time in his UFC career. He will be taking on rising Canadian superstar, proper Mike Mallott. Many fans see Mallott as Canada's next best hope for a UFC champion. Sean Strickland's best friend, the Action Man, Chris Curtis, is on the card. He will be facing Canadian kickboxer, the Power Bar, Marc-Andre Barriult. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev is an absolute banger of a fight. These two 29-year-olds are both future title contenders in a lot of fans' eyes. Two-time Ultimate Fighter winner Brad Katona gets the opportunity to fight in front of his home crowd in Canada. Heir Charles Jourdain is a fun, flashy striker who's incapable of putting on a boring fight. And we will see another rising Canadian star as judo and grappling specialist Jasmine Jasdavicius takes on Brazil's zombie girl, Priscila Cachoeira. Guys, UFC 297, Strickland versus Du Plessis takes place this weekend in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I cannot wait to watch this one. If you guys enjoyed, please do us a favor, leave a thumbs up, and let us know who you're rooting for in the main event. Also, hit that subscribe button and follow us on IG at the107MMA, the same way it's spelled on this channel. My name is Dino Bam Bam. This was the MMA Casuals Guide. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.